It's Nolan.
Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Activate beast mode, I just hit cheat code. Gotta say niggas want Rico. Ayy, I was on TiVo, green dot reload. About to touch down like Tizo. Ayy, stunning like Steve-O, simple like free throw. Juice A color like Nigo. Ayy, whip got soup like miso. Ayy, nigga take L like default. Riding through the city, no gas. I be floating on the track, no rail. Okay. Never did art. I just need cheese for the craft for a front. I don't put it on tab. Never tell move smart. Holly went to school with your dad. Now they got me saying rules in the class. I'm just trying to do my part. Nigga walk smooth like Shaft. Wanna see me come through for the bad. I got my 808 dumping when I'm cruising through the street. We surviving niggas riding, hit the spot like 10 deep. I need my squad on my back. We ain't no game, but they my peeps. I need like 20K at least. I'm just trying to keep the peace. Okay, I did it before, do it again. Got me get temperature, move on my pen. Niggas be talking about family with money involved when it's not. Niggas going to win. Roll with the punches, I took it to chin. Back to the city, I'm booking events. Get you and your friends, just like a smoothie we blend. She came with the juice and the gin. Ay, something nigga with another swag. Drag these niggas like a bowling bag. Got the soul like Hall & Oates. Always with my brothers like Hall & Nash. Label gave that nigga $1 million and they probably never made a quarterback. Big facts like the almanac. Rappers hating, now they want an autograph.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this evening. In this video, we're going to be getting into Dame Dash, okay? Now, I don't know how tuned in y'all are with the Dame Dash saga, but it's been reported that he had to auction off another one of his companies coming into the new year, and allegedly it sold for $100. All right. Now, I need to go ahead and pull up some information about this because he recently showed up on what is the name of this show? I don't know what show it is, but it's on Afro TV. He showed up on Afro TV and he basically wanted to set the record straight about the sale of his company. And of course, this is due to outstanding debt that he owes people that have sued him, that he's been delinquent on for years. And he also went up there with an axe to grind with Charlamagne. Y'all know him and Charlamagne have had a rocky relationship in recent years. Just last year, he went on The Breakfast Club and they got into a back and forth match where Charlamagne was just basically antagonizing him like, you're broke. You know what I'm saying? And it only got to that place because Dame Dash wanted to continually insult Charlamagne. And he handled it by just saying, Dame, you're broke. I don't believe nothing you saying. You come up here and grandstand. You poke your chest out like you're something special. You're somebody we used to respect. But today, many view you as a clown. And you're out here doing these emotional outbursts because you're financially unstable. That's how Charlamagne treated it. So now, after all of this hits the net and people are once again, talking about Dame, laughing at Dame, others are sad about Dame, he's coming out and speaking on Charlamagne's recent deal for the $200 million with the Black Effect and everything at iHeart. And he continues to try to downplay Charlamagne's latest deal. And he feels like Charlamagne is only being rewarded for either going at him or selling out the culture. Now, I don't know what Dame Dash feels that he's done for the culture in recent years. He's given inspiration. I'm one of the people he inspired with Rockefeller and the work that he did with Jay-Z. And even when they split and he went off to do Creative Control, I thought that was dope. But outside of that, I don't know what he thinks he's currently doing that inspires the culture. You know what I'm saying? But, of course, he has a very inflated perspective of himself, right? So I'm going to give y'all a quick rundown of the auction, all right? So Dame Dash's film company, Poppington LLC, sold for $100.50 at a public auction on Tuesday, December 30th, as part of efforts to satisfy nearly $1 million in judgment against him. According to the New York Post, Mike Muntaser, who's the CEO of Muddy Water Motion Pictures, which is actually the company suing him, they submitted the winning bid. Taser, who holds a $973,000 claim against Dash, stemming from civil defamation lawsuits, described the purchase as a jab at Dash, accusing him of prolonging years of litigation rather than resolving their disputes amicably. He and filmmaker Josh Weber have successfully sued Dash twice for defamation. Additionally, as of last week, they have a third lawsuit in the works. They say he's just a problem. He has an ego. I think he's just bitter coming from where he was to where he is, and he just blames everybody else and doesn't look at himself in the mirror. For him being on the big stage with like Jay-Z and Ye, why are your peers doing good, being constructive, and you're just playing games with others? Okay? Furthermore, they state Tuesday's sale included the rights to Dash's best-known film, Honor Up, which starred Dash, rapper Cameron, and Dash's cousin Stacey Dash, which he had about a year ago did a deal with BET for them to show on television. So apparently he now no longer owns that film. Also included were its sequel to Honorable, a documentary titled Welcome to Black Rock, and a personal film, We Went to China, Our Search for Like-Minded Individuals. Dash, who co-founded Rockefeller Records with Jay-Z, owes an estimated $25 million in federal and state taxes, child support, and other debts. Okay, that's what the reports are saying across the internet, which has people looking at Dame in a different way. He declared bankruptcy in September, reporting that he only had a few $1,000s in assets. Attorney Chris Brown, not to be confused with the singer, whose clients are owed at least $5 million in civil judgments against Dash, will receive $33.50 from the auction after winning his own $150,000 civil lawsuit. The New York Post reports Brown said he had hoped outside bidders would offer several $100,000 for the film collection, but no additional bidders appeared. It's more of an undertaking of what they viewed Dash's work to be as opposed to anything else, he said, referencing a recent Instagram post where Cameron referred to Honor Up as whack. Okay? So it's tough to say who's the winner in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got his company, y'all got his films, but if they're worthless, what did you really get? Right? I got to be honest about that part. Seems like Dame gets off a little bit easy. Unless those balances still remain active after the auction. Right? But let's get to Dame talking about this stuff. And we're going to get to Charlamagne's reaction on the Breakfast Club from this morning as well.
You recently made headlines about
I told you
Poppington
about
LLC selling at an auction for $100.50.
It was only worth 50
all to
cents.
help cover $1 million. Okay, so
It wasn't. I told you the last time you were here. I said what he does is these companies that if I have a copyright or a trademark, any muddy waters. So I heard something. I heard they said Honor Up. Definitely, I wrote Honor Up. I never filed a trademark in my life. I would love to sue for that. I dare them to try to think that or try to interrupt my business for that. And then there were 2 pilots that I did. We went to China and we went to Jamaica. They were pilots. So I trademarked it and copywrote it. But again, it will never be used because I would never give the clearance for the music or any of the things that come with it. They're not worth anything. I never made $1 from them. So if I wanted it, you don't think I could have got $1 from somebody or $2 from somebody? But I told y'all they're not. These are old companies. Poppington hasn't existed and it was never a movie company.
That's what I was.
So it doesn't carry anything. It doesn't hold any of your.
Why else would it only have gone for?
This shit going a little 1.5ish, ain't it? Hold on, let me slow this shit down.
$1.
Who put it up for auction?
So again, this is another. You asked me about this the last time you were here.
We didn't get a chance to dive deep.
Damn, since this motherfucker sped it up, now when I slow it down, this shit sounds stupid. Fuck. All right, we'll deal with it.
But I'm thinking, and I thought I answered it the last time. I said, in the bankruptcy, there were certain things they wanted to carve out. So Poppington, I guess, was an old company, and it went to auction because it wasn't part of the bankruptcy. So.
But who makes the decision to do the
judge?
Okay.
But my point is, if it has no value, who cares? So what I'm saying is, this was a company that was 20 years ago, right? Like literally 2015, that had no assets in it, not an LLC. It wasn't a movie company. No movie went through that. So why would I?
It was just a company.
It was a company that was it's gone. It's over. Remember when I said I don't do it last week? I said
I remember
I don't do an LLC
until it makes money.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a company that never made $1.
And so because you were doing the bankruptcy, that was one of the ones that wasn't involved.
You have to trademark and copyright certain things to protect it so no one else sues you. But if I write something, if I write it, I would have to be the one to go trademark it or copyright it, or else there would be a big problem. And I remember someone trying that shit, but that's why, again, the only thing that got copywritten under Poppington that I'm aware of was 2 pilots that are unusable because there's too much music in it. There's a lot of uncleared music in it. It was a pilot. So you want to go ahead and for $100? It's not worth $100 to me.
Do you think it says something about the brand that, like one person showed up and then it sold for like $100? What do you think it says about your brand?
Stop. You have to stop that. If it's not worth $1, then that's why it's not worth anything. It has nothing to do with
I'm talking about brand.
Poppington is not known to be mine. It's not a company that ever really made $1. So what do you mean?
You can also take the history.
Do you think if somebody wanted to come away, if American News was on auction, I'm sure everyone.
Dame, I'm talking about the Dame Dash brand.
But it wasn't promoted as a Dame Dash brand. It's promoted as a company with no assets. What are you talking about? Wait. Why would somebody buy a company with no assets? I need you to explain.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta stop this for a second, for my own purposes. All right, back to Dame.
Yeah, I would like to know that. Why do you think they did?
Why would $1?
No.
The person that the people that you're not hearing me.
Okay.
You're not.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Is the blue light going on when I'm talking?
Go ahead on and say it. All right, Dame.
I just said that Poppington has no assets. It's unusable. The person that bought it with the people was the same people. Muddy Waters for $200.
Okay.
No one. It's not worth anything. So if this was my ice cube and it's gonna melt and it's at auction, are you gonna go and show up and buy it? So it's not worth anything.
The reason I think what Raquel is trying to break down, Dame, is that it in some way is attached to your brand. The same reason why we're bringing it up.
Make it, but that's ridiculous.
Understood, but from the public view,
I don't care about the public
view. We
view.
understand.
From broke people's view.
Okay, we understand, but it's still
From
attached
broke
to your
people's
view.
No, nobody ever heard of Poppington. What happens is they may do that so there's a headline so stupid people ask me dumb questions. But y'all should know better. If someone explained it to you already, why would you even ask that question?
Damn, why you so stupid people can ask him stupid questions. So now you're attacking this room full of women that you decided to come, black women at that now, that you decided to come on their show. This is their show. This ain't your show, nigga. They asking you about a public interest, because we wouldn't be talking about you had this situation not happen. Let's be clear. And that's not to disrespect Dame, but let's be honest. At bare minimum, don't get defensive and start insulting these women if you agreed to come on their show, because you have your own platform to address this. Why'd you come on their show? Now you saying they did this so stupid people could ask me questions? So you saying that this is a room full of stupid people asking you questions? That ain't the way to do this shit, man. This nigga is kirking out, man. This shit is not a good look.
What I thought
it's not worth nothing.
When I heard it, I was thinking that maybe it was some type of strategic reallocation or something. Like you were relocating.
It's a company.
I get what you're saying now, but I
you know what's going to happen in the comments? They're going to say you're not that price.
I knew that because I remember you saying that you have companies that you don't. I remember you saying you have companies that you don't do nothing with until it makes you money.
And I also said that there's like as an entrepreneur, 1 out of 90.
And whether Dame wants to admit it or not, it is a reflection of your public brand. Because if it's in the headlines, in the news, if somebody valued what you had going on, or if you had a strong enough relationship with somebody that was just like, you know what, man, I'm gonna come bail you out, they would have put the money up for it to happen. But no such thing happened. You know what I'm saying? Nobody showed up.
Businesses works. Yeah. So again, if I do a business and then I move and it doesn't work.
And your last fucking business, the portion of Rockefeller that was for sale, which is the most prized piece that most people were willing to put money up for, that shit got bought out by the state. So technically nobody bought that shit neither, really.
And we scrapped the business.
Understood.
But this wasn't a business that ever really was a business. So it was the only thing that popping, you know what I mean? Like, again, what's happening is people are talking about it.
Yeah.
So strategically, I guess they want people talking about it. They may feel it's bad for my brand, but business still exists. Business still goes on.
Yeah.
We didn't take the watch, right? They should you know.
But, all right, let's switch gears. Let's go to the entertainment.
All right, so that's Dame talking about doing, I guess, damage control. I don't know what the fuck that was. About the Poppington business. Now let's get to him talking about Charlamagne's business.
So Netflix and Spotify are teaming up to bring some of the biggest video podcasts from pop culture and sports to true crime directly onto Netflix. Shows like the Bill Simmons podcast, the Ringer Fantasy Football Show, and the Breakfast Club will all now be streaming on Netflix.
Can I say something?
So looking back to when podcasts first started, did any of you see this coming? No, that it would be this big.
Okay, can I say this?
No. Go ahead.
So I was doing what's considered a podcast now it was Culture Vultures, Hip Hop Motivation with Kenyatta. And I was just giving away the information, and I knew it was going to turn into an industry. I've had podcasts or studios for podcasting for years. And I actually offered iHeart Radio the same deal that Netflix offered 2 years ago, and I can show it to you. I know the CEO, that's why I also knew that they might be going bankrupt. But of course, the future of the industry is podcasting, because what's happened now is black people like AM radio. We never knew we liked listening to people talk so much. And the visual podcast is an audio experience. It's not a video experience. So that's why if someone does like a show and they call it a podcast, it's not on a set.
It's not entirely true, Dame. People like seeing the video. Now, there is a business for audio, and some people are making hella bread in audio departments. But people absolutely love the video element. Me at this point in my life, I'm not listening to an audio podcast with no visual to it. That's just me. I'm sure there's others like me, but of course there's others that just like the listening experience while they're on their drive, morning run, gym, stuff like that. That does work.
I'd be like, yo, I mean, if it's on a set, it's a TV show. Yeah. But yes, the voice of our culture needs to be heard, and we do have the attention span to listen. And of course, the world is going to change, but I saw it change. And I'm going to show you what I sent them. And of course, for me, what I don't understand is how do they get paid, if it's through the subscription, or they're going to be commercials, is it going to be programmatic? So when you watch a podcast, because usually a podcaster gets paid based on engagement, and that's where the CPMs come in. Yeah. So I'm curious if they're using programmatic, which is the technology that my network has, the new network. So I'm curious to know exactly what that means. But what you do notice, because you saw Charlamagne all of a sudden got that deal. Can you name someone that I have problems with that's not like corporately backed? It seems like as soon as someone's beefing with me, all of a sudden, they get a 200. So think about it, 50. Soon as Fredo, Cameron got with the corporate, he starts beefing. Before it was Jay, I think all of them.
I think what they doing to you, Dame, is they playing little joker, big joker with you. Because ain't no fucking way these people are locking in deals. These deals take months. They're not just locking in deals the moment that they decide to go to war with you. People just come put money in their pocket. These deals are already in the works. They're already being negotiated. They're already going back and forth. They're sending memos. They're sending emails. They're sending proposals. And niggas be sitting on these deals. And then when you go back and forth and you try to play money games and you try to play, oh, I own this, I own that, I do this, I do that. That's when niggas say, okay, you got the little joke. Let me show you the big one. Blah. And then they like, shit, I just did a $50 million deal, $20 million deal, $100 million deal. While other motherfuckers is out here trying to collect in upwards of $25 million from your pocket. I think that's what's going on. And because your ego is so big, no Kanye, no Beyonce, you take it as, oh, these companies come mess with them after they beef with me. Come the fuck on.
And I just think it's a humiliation ritual.
We better stop beefing.
Stop. It's a humiliation ritual that if you're going to get empowered by them, you got to go at me. And can you imagine if I ever was corporately told what to do? The trophy that would be for them? Y'all would never want to see them dangle me like a trophy. But the thing about what I didn't like, and what's misleading about the Charlamagne situation is called Black, what's it called? Black Effect? Black Effect, but it's owned by white people half. So what usually happens? You use someone black to go get all the talent from all the black people, allegedly. It's powered by somebody white. They get all the data. And And that's the reason why he's the face for them to go get all of our culture. And that's what I see, and I knew it. And that's why I know that him in general is always trying to say something bad about me. The more bad shit you say to me, about me, if you've noticed, from Jay on down, even though he don't talk, but everybody around him, for some reason, they're always backed and patted on the back by corporate. And tell me one person that's not. So 50's getting patted on the back for being a good boy. Charlamagne, Jay, now Cameron or Fredo. All as soon as Noriega, all of a sudden, y'all against me. As soon as you get with them, is that an algorithm coincidence? But it may be arrogant, but I do feel
it is, and it's not a coincidence. It's the fact that whether you love or hate any of these people that he's naming, as they've gotten older, they've gotten better with their business. And unfortunately, from the outside looking in, it appears as you've gotten older, you've digressed with your business. And that's something that hurts to say, you know what I mean? For me to say, because I grew up seeing you in a position of power. You know what I'm saying? You were a benchmark. You dancing in them videos. I may not have wanted to dance in the videos, but it was a symbol of power. Like, these niggas is running shit. These niggas running their own ship. They got their deal with Def Jam, whatever it is. But these niggas is in position, and they loving life. They having a great time. And then once I learned more and more about how y'all had bread prior to the deal and how y'all came into the business independent and brokered that deal, I was like, yeah, fuck, them niggas did the right thing. But ever since Jay went and did his own thing, which I guess you never expected that he would, these people accelerated, elevated. And it's like your elevator has gone down. Now, to average people, I mean, I don't think Dame Dash would ever be like just flat out broke, $150 in his account. Can't buy a pair of Air Force Ones or no shit. You know what I mean? But I do think that he plays it up. You know what I'm saying? And it's really not like, if your identity wasn't your money, I think people wouldn't be so critical of your financial status. I'll say that much. This video is about to end anyway. Let's get to Charlamagne. Now, I can't show the Breakfast Club video, so I just got to play the audio, but let's get to it.
Okay, salute to everyone who has gotten the memo, because sadly, there's a brother amongst us who is not, and his name is Dame Dash. Okay, last night, Dame Dash appeared on the Point of View show on Afro TV, and they were discussing the Breakfast Club coming to Netflix, and me re-signing with iHeart, and he had this to say. Let's listen.
So I was doing what's considered a podcast now it was Culture Vultures, Hip Hop Motivation with Kenyatta. And I actually offered iHeart Radio the same deal that Netflix offered 2 years ago. And I can show it to you. I know the CEO, that's why I also knew that they might be going bankrupt. And I'm going to show you what I sent them. But what you do notice, because you saw Charlamagne all of a sudden got that deal. Can you name someone that I have problems with that's not like corporately backed? It seems like as soon as someone's beefing with me, think about it, 50, as soon as Fredo, Cameron got with the corporate, he starts beefing. Before it was Jay. And I just think it's a humiliation ritual that if you're going to...
Let me tell you something. When I hear brothers like that talk, my first thought is segregation was a great concept that was poorly executed. It should have been based on behavior, not race, because I don't want to be around none of those types of Negroes. Okay, keep all those
Charlamagne, what the fuck was that, brother? Nah, I understand. But that's what you lead with? I don't know. You went a little far with segregation. I can understand the idea of separation. I don't want you to fuck niggas around me. But to bring segregation in that system, that institution that came with that was strange.
Healed heathens away from me. The extremely sad part of what Dame just said is that he believes it. Okay, he believes it because he's a textbook narcissist, and narcissists consistently make everything about themselves because they have an inflated sense of self-importance and a constant need for attention and validation. Dame, listen, you really think people are sitting around in corporate boardrooms plotting on ways to stop you. Nobody has to do that because Dame Dash's biggest obstacle will always be Dame Dash, okay? Nobody gets in Dame Dash's way more than Dame. Dame, I'm going to promise you something right here, right now. I'm not talking about you no more, okay? Ever. All right, because I don't want to feed your ego. And when I talk about shedding, that's something I want us all to do in 2026. Don't feed people's wounded egos. Okay, stop giving excess validation and attention to people with an inflated sense of self-importance. Their ego thrives on it. Okay, that's where those manipulative, arrogant, and insecure behaviors like Dame Dash has come from. Okay. I don't want that Dash, a.k.a. Boss Baby, throwing any tantrums because of me. Okay, so that is something I will be shedding, all right, while we are still in the year of the snake. I also don't understand brothers like Dame, because Dame, you got...
Damn, is it really the year of the snake? Because I was just talking about motherfuckers being snakes in my other video. Damn.
All the money with corporate America back in your day. Okay, when it was your turn, you got checks from Def Jam, you had Rockaway, you had Armadale Vodka, you had Pro Keds, you had the Rock Box, you had all kind of stuff. How come when you was getting your money from corporate America, it was all good, but every black man after you has to be getting it through some type of nefarious means and getting it because they come at you? So should we assume, based off your logic, the only reason you was getting paid back in the day was because you was doing some BS? I just don't understand the logic, okay? And when you had Rockefeller and you was partnered with artists, okay, just like I'm partnered with podcasts on Black Effect, and you was partnered with Def Jam and Universal, weren't you partnered with white folks?
Right.
Was you selling our culture then? The logic doesn't even add up, but I guess it's cool when you do it, but it's a problem when other black men do it. But I will say this, Dead Dash. If you believe that people are rewarded because they go back and forth with you or have issues with you, then you need to get with some other brothers who have ties with corporate and stage some beefs, okay? So they can get paid and then give you a kickback. In fact, for everyone who believes this nonsense, because there is some people out here that will believe this, they'll believe this foolishness that Dame Dash is spewing. Well, let's test the theory. Okay, go to Dame Dash's Instagram. All right, let's have a little petty party.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
God.
This is what I'm talking about.
Stop. This is a teachable moment. Right. Okay, this is not recklessness.
Okay.
Go to Dame Dash's Instagram at Dusko Poppington. Go to Dame's Twitter. Go to Dame's YouTube, the American New Network, and start a beef with him. Okay, leave a comment. Say F you, Dash. And let's see if you get a check, all right? Based off Dame's logic, just start a beef with him, and then you'll get paid. Let's try the theory out. Let's get a lot of people paid today. See who he goes back and forth with, and see if they get a check. Based off Dash's logic, it should be a lot of folks getting rich today, okay? Let's try the logic out. Go to Dusko Poppington on Instagram. Let's have a little petty party and start a beef with him, all right? If that's all it takes to be successful, try it, okay? Dame, you might want to try arguing with yourself. All right, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and start beefing with yourself, even though sadly that's what's already happening. Okay, all your issues are internal because folks like me haven't done anything to you. All right, but if your theory is true, start a fake beef with yourself, or as I said, have somebody in corporate start a fake beef with you so they can get a check and then y'all can split it. Because when I was watching that point of view conversation, Dame, I saw that stain on your suit. Okay, I saw that stain on your suit.
I saw it too, but I didn't know what it was. I thought he might have spilled coffee on his shit or something. You know what I mean? It's probably an early morning show. I didn't even mention it, but I did see. I didn't know if it was sweat. You know what I mean? I didn't know if he was on his James Bond. I could go murk a nigga and come sit with y'all peacefully and calmly with the sweat on me. But I did see a little trinkle, trinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. But let's keep moving.
All right, now maybe that stain on your suit was intentional to match the stains on those filthy ass forces you be wearing. But all I'm saying is, you might need a check. But more importantly, Dame, I just want you to be happy. I'm serious. All jokes aside, I wish nothing but the best for you. I want you to heal what is hurting you. I want you to let go of all the hurt that you experienced at the hands of the industry. I'll pay for your therapy, Dame. I'm dead ass serious. I have a great therapist I can refer to you. I am dead ass. I will pay for your therapy because I am tired of you bleeding on people who didn't cut you. I am sending Dash healing energy. I truly am. It's the year of the snake. The snake symbolizes transformation, renewal, and letting go of negativity. It's time, Dame. Let it go. Please give to Lulu Poppington, a.k.a. Det Dash, a.k.a. Boss Baby, the biggest hee-haw.
All right, we're going to cut that shit off, all right? Now, Charlamagne, I think you might need to go back to therapy for that fucking segregation shit you said, nigga. Somebody got to set your ass straight. Matter of fact, don't go to therapy. Go back to South Carolina and talk to your family about that shit. Anyway, that's Charlamagne's response to Dame playing with his name or what have you. Dame, it's 2026, bruh. It's time to move on, man. It's time to get that hurt out your heart, man. It's time to do some productive shit. I'm not saying you gotta try to live up to your old self, because trying to recreate that makes no sense. But at this point, it's time to be onward and upward with your endeavors, bruh. Like last year was a shit show. Like starting from when you tried to give that random white lady benefit of the doubt that Jay might have touched her at the fucking VMAs, that was the starting of the end, and it was already bad. But shit just continued to go downhill from there. I think it's time to get a full restart. You might want to restart your washer and dryer, in the whole nine. Okay? Now, from that, I will leave it to y'all. I'm not in the business of just like shitting on Dame. I still have a great deal of respect for him, but it's very, very tough to follow him. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. Become an insider. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.
Yeah, family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'm never politicking, the drama be piling on. Father and great son acknowledged like I'm Bobby Bonds. Conversation with my lady about the paper route. 5 sit bank accounts, every day I make it count. They down talking my commentary for hating now. Well, I can take it cause I'm bodying your favorite now, please. I can do this shit in my sleep. I been writing for these niggas, y'all read it and weep. I been fighting these niggas if you speak on the street. I turn your birthday party into New Year's Eve. Don't let me take it there. We ain't playing fair. This the ATL, Southside nigga moving furniture like Wayfair. Life on hold, no insurance for your healthcare. Lifeline gone, so you wanna be a millionaire? Well, let me tell you about this world I built. The women I dodged, the niggas that I read for filth. The sympathy calls, consulting for the stacks I built. I had